Well, I started studying voice when I was 12, and I took classical voice lessons actually. And all through high school and college, I kept taking classical voice, but I actually never thought about being a professional singer. I just loved to sing, and all my extracurriculars were singing. I was in all the choirs and a cappella groups and all that stuff. And then when I was in college, I got my degree in political science. But like around my junior, sophomore year, I realized I didn't really want to go into, I was looking to go into like international development work, and I got kind of jaded with that as an industry. And so I kind of realized that music had always been my passion. And so I just decided to try that out. And then when I graduated from college in 2012, I moved back home to DC, and I just started trying to figure out how to be a full-time musician, professional musician. And so I started going to a lot of jazz jam sessions. DC has a really amazing jazz scene. It kind of always has, honestly. Like Duke Ellington's from here. There's a lot of famous jazz musicians who came through DC, got their start in DC. So there's like a good community for that. And so I just met a lot of jazz musicians, and I just kind of started challenging myself to sing more jazz and to learn more standards. And you know, even though my passion is really like soul music, R&B, it definitely has a lot of jazz elements just because of that influence.
I've swam in waterfalls that stung my back.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun building a stage show, and it's fun because each performance is different, you know, and also because a lot of the people I'm playing with, at this point I've been playing with for like 4 years now. And so we've kind of grown together, and they really understand me. I don't have to give them the same type of cues anymore. You know, they kind of feel what I'm doing, they respond to me. From the beginning, I never really liked performing to tracks because it doesn't give me enough freedom, you know. I really like to play around with, you know, giving people extended solos and, you know, play around with dynamics, you know, and make the audience sing along with me. And when you're performing the tracks, you don't have the freedom to do those type of things. So I've been having a lot of fun over the past year or so, just continually building my stage show and adding new elements. And I'm really excited when I finally can get the opportunity to have like a lighting person, you know, to do lighting design. And, you know, there's like so many elements that you can add. So I'm excited that as I keep growing, to keep playing around with those things to really make it an experience, because that's what you remember. It's like you can listen to the music at home, so you don't want to go to a show and hear the music the same way it sounds on the record. At least I don't. I feel like that's not what I pay for, right? I pay to have that experience, that memorable experience. So I just like finding new ways to give that to So I co-write almost all my music with other musicians. Let's see. Typically, I'll have an idea. I'll have like a verse and a chorus, lyrics and melody, and then I'll bring that to you know, somebody I work with who plays guitar, somebody I work with who plays keys, and we'll kind of build around it. You know, start adding the different chord progressions underneath, try to figure out what can happen in terms of a bridge or transitions, or, you know, and then once I have that solid chordal structure, then I can go back and finish the writing process. And yeah, it takes time though for me. It takes time to work through that process. But I was telling someone the other day, sometimes it can take like a year, 2 years to find the right lyric, because you have to live it in order to write about it, right? So a lot of times I'll have a first verse and chorus for a long time. And then finally one day I'll sit down and I'll have that moment when I know, okay, this is where the rest of the song is supposed to go.
Got in my car and rolled my windows down and sang a song.
Yeah, so I put out my first single in 2012, a few months after I graduated from college. And that was called Too Much. And then I put out another single the next year that was called Heaven in Your Eyes. And then I put out my first EP. It was a 5-song EP in 2015. And that was really a learning experience, you know, just going through the process of figuring out what songs to put on there and, you know, who I'm working with and all that. And I feel like that really primes me for where I am right now, which is I just released my first full album last month in May, and it's entitled Songs of Love and Freedom. And it's a project that I'm really proud of because it, you know, I just know that it's saying what I want to say and that it really represents who I am at this moment. So I'm really proud of the work.
Don't be afraid. I feel helpless. It'll be.
No, I definitely have a strategy. You know, but it's measured because I can only do so much with the funds that I have, you know? So for me, I've done a lot of networking over the last few years. So the process just starts with reaching out to my people, you know, reaching out, letting them know, I just put this project out, you know, if you love it, share it with somebody. And that's really helped a lot. Even without me asking, people have been sending the project to friends, DJs that I know have been sending it to other DJs because they really love it. And so I've been doing just a lot of that, just trying to work my network. And I don't like those words even because it makes it sound like exploitive, but when it's good music, people want to share it. So I just try to let everybody I know that the work is there. You know, when they have time to listen to it, hopefully it touches them in a way that they want to share it with somebody else. And, you know, I've also just been trying to, I know that the music is something that will be enjoyed overseas as well. So I've been trying to find ways to kind of start growing my overseas fan base, specifically in Europe and in Japan. So just through doing, you know, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and also trying to do some internet radio shows that broadcast over there, you know, reaching out to people over there. So, and also just working on trying to figure out how to book some shows in Europe this fall. And I know that I'm really good live, so I know whenever I do a live show, I always sell a lot of products. So I trying to do more live shows in more cities. You know, it's just, I'm trying to be very grassroots about it, you know? Just finding the fan base and letting it grow naturally. And I'm okay with the slow build.
Midnight humming sweetly.
I think when I write my lyrics, I'm trying to give people some type of message, but I'm just trying to be honest. I feel like when people come to artists, what they want is that honesty. And that honesty and that vulnerability that artists show is what helps people to be comfortable in their own vulnerability and to be honest with themselves. And so that's really all I try to bring to the music is a certain level of honesty, a level of truth, a level of vulnerability that I can really let people in, you know, to whatever I'm struggling with, all my inner voices, you know, my triumphs, you know, things that I'm figuring out. And hopefully they just connect to that because I know so many of those stories are familiar for people. Like everyone goes through that journey of like not really loving themselves the way they should, you know? Everyone goes through that journey of feeling like they're not on the right path or that they're letting themselves down or that they need to try harder, you know? So I hope that my music just is able to help people through that process of growth, because that's really what the new project is about. It's about growth. It's about growing through whatever the world is throwing at you, you know? You just keep moving and you keep figuring it out and you keep growing. And I feel like that's what the album is about. And from what I've heard from people, they connect with that message.
And still I'm willing to let you.
definitely in it. I'm definitely in it. I mean, I definitely have goals for the project, you know, in terms of how many people I want to reach and the places I'd like to go and the type of team I'd like to build, you know, around the support of me and my work. But at the end of the day, I love what I do and I don't want to do anything else, you know? And I know some of my favorite music I've discovered like 2-3 years after it came out, you know? And then I'm all over their website, like when are they going on tour, you know? Like where are they from? Want to watch interviews and stuff, you know? So I know I'm that type of fan, and I know that there are people out there like that who will respond to my music in a similar way. They just need to hear it. So just figuring out all those ways for people to hear it. I mean, I definitely have goals in terms of the work, but I'm never gonna say like, I'm doing this and then I'm giving up, or, you know, because I just feel like it's not honest, and that's not a good way to live your life. You do what you do I mean, you do have goals, but at a certain point, it's not really about your expectations. It's just about doing what you know you're supposed to be doing. And whether it reaches 1 million people or 100 people, it reached people, you know? So, and also, you just have the satisfaction, or at least I'll just talk for me, I have the satisfaction of knowing that I created this body of work that I'm really proud of, so.
Resting on